Shit, boy, RP on the track.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy again of the black light from the village hidden by sunlight. I am the heir to the Tayo Kage, you dig? And today we bringing y'all a little bit of Naruto theory. First off, we've been following Naruto for well over a decade now, and we've had a theory for a while. We're new to this YouTube thing, but we decided to bring this theory that we have to everybody, you dig? So, our theory is that Jiraiya is a Uzumaki. And I know that a lot of people probably like, whoa, no, this guy way off. But let's think, slow down for a second, let's think. And maybe some of y'all got the same theory that we have. I know for the most part, most of the things that I seen label Jiraiya as a Senju. And that's probably simply because he doesn't have a last name, all right? Because Jiraiya exhibits the traits of the Uzumaki clan, all right? Even the fact that he doesn't have a last name is a trait of the Uzumaki clan. The only Uzumaki that retained his name was Naruto, all right? The rest of the Uzumakis within the leaf or within other village, I guess it was a stipulation that they lost their name upon entering these other villages because they would be targets. So first we know that the Uzumaki sent their people all around to the other lands because they had the capability of becoming Jinchurikis. The Uzumaki's true power was a strong life force, a very strong life force. You know, it's hard to kill them. A very strong chakra foundation. They got a lot of chakra, you dig? And sealing jutsus, all right? They have a very heightened ability to use sealing jutsus. The number one jutsu, I think, is the 8 trigrams sealing jutsu. It's got the Uzumaki seal right in the middle of the 8 trigrams, and we'll put it up on the screen for everybody. And of course, the last trait is that healing factor, which Jiraiya doesn't have. But I want to say this. The only Uzumakis that I have seen with that strong healing factor were females. All right? None of the male Uzumakis that we have encountered has that healing factor like Tsunade, Karin, Maito, and who else? It's another one. And Kushina. All right? We know that all of them had a very, very strong healing factor. But as for the male Uzumakis, we don't know that for sure. So we don't know if that's a trait throughout all of the Uzumakis. We know Naruto did not possess that healing factor like Lady Tsunade, even though he is her grandchild. And maybe he could have did it if he used that seal of mitotic regeneration. Who knows, all right? Maybe Jiraiya could have do the same thing. But one of the first things they tell you about the Uzumakis is that they are a rowdy bunch. They like to fight, all right? They just very wild, unruly. That fits the mantra of Master Jiraiya, because we know that Master Jiraiya loved a good fight, and he was a ladies' man. That's why we call him the pervy sage. Master Jiraiya have sex with 20 women in one day. You know, that's my man. But you know that's a treat of the Uzumakis, all right? Another thing, what is Jiraiya's true power? Jiraiya's true power is the ability to open up the whirlpool. Now, the Uzumaki translates into the village hidden by whirlpools. So, being the fact that Jiraiya, out of everybody that we know in the Naruto world, he had the rarest summoning. He was able to open the whirlpool and take himself to Mount Miyaboku, the only human to ever do it, all right? So, and if you realize when he drops the seal on the ground, it's a Uzumaki seal, all right? So, that's another reason why we would believe that Jiraiya is a Uzumaki. The white hair, all right? He had the white hair just like the old man Uzumaki, and I think the white hair just represents their closeness to Kaguya, all right? And I feel like, or we feel like at the village, that the Uzumakis are not an offshoot of Hogoromo, but they are descendants of Himura, all right? And that's why they are a little bit different, and that's why they have like the 8 trigram sealing jutsu, which is like the Hyugas, which we know are descendants of mirror. All right, but anyway, that's a different topic, right? All right, so the next point I would like to make is that he's one of the legendary Sanin. All right, all three of the legendary Sanin, in our opinion, are Uzumakis. All right, we know that Lady Tsunade is a Uzumaki through Mito. Now, I know a lot of people want to credit her as Tsunade Senju. You always want to label her as Tsunade Senju because of the first Hokage. But in all actuality, she does not possess his traits. Madara specifically said, "Man, look here, you ain't nothing like your grandfather. You know, she possessed the traits of her grandmother, which is Mito. You know, up until Mito's death, she could retain her youth. All right, just like Lady Tsunade, she's the one who taught Lady Tsunade the mitotic regeneration. You gotta have a lot of chakra to be able to manifest the mitotic generation. So we know for a fact that Lady Tsunade is a Uzumaki, one of the legendary Sanin. What is her capability? Releasing the seal of the mitotic regeneration, a very strong chakra source, and able her ability to summon a great big Akatsuya, the slug. You know, nobody can summon the whole slug. It take a whole lot of chakra to summon the whole one. But Lady Tsunade is able to summon a big piece of her. You dig? So now we're gonna go to Orochimaru. Orochimaru is most likely from the village hidden in the whirlpools. Why I say that? The only thing we know about his parents is we see their graves. All right. It's a reoccurring theme of the Uzumakis who get sent to these other villages for their parents to get killed in war. All right. The only thing we saw is him at the grave of his parents. We know that Orochimaru's capability is Funjutsu, sealing jutsu. It is the main trait of the Uzumaki. We know that Orochimaru has a very great healing factor, right? I mean, to us, he exhibits the traits of a Uzumaki, and we'll go deeper into Orochimaru into another video, but he is from the village hidden by whirlpools also. So with the logic saying that those two are from the village hidden by whirlpools, I would say that the third one, which is Jiraiya, would be part of that clan also. What is his capability? A very strong chakra force. You see how big of a Rasengan he can make? You dig? And his ability to release the seals, his ability to open up the whirlpool itself. He was the best at that summoning jutsu in the Naruto world, right? I think most of us can agree with that. So all three of the legendary Sanin definitely have Uzumaki traits. Now, we're not saying that they don't have any mixed blood, like Lady Tsunade, where she is part Senju and part Uzumaki, why she is so strong. I'm not telling you that Jiraiya is full-blood Uzumaki, but in our opinion, he is a full-blooded Uzumaki. In our opinion, Orochimaru is one of the full-blooded members from the village hidden by whirlpools. His parents were sent to the Leaf Village and died. Just like Nagato, you know, Nagato's parents were both doctors, Uzumakis, sent to the ring, and they both died in war, leaving Nagato to be a war orphan. It seems like that was a reoccurring theme within the Uzumakis. Naruto ended up a war orphan. You think? Karin ended up a war orphan. The ones that we know of, and you know, after that third Great Ninja War, we know that they were war orphans, right? Cool. And we have to say that we would have to assume that Jiraiya fits that same boat. And while we on Nagato, we need to talk about the Child of the Prophecy, which is another correlation with Jiraiya to the Uzumaki. Because Jiraiya's main students, now I understand he taught Yahiko and Conan also, but now Jiraiya's main students were all Uzumakis, all right? Nagato was an Uzumaki on both sides, a full-blooded Uzumaki, all right? Jiraiya's next student is Minato, all right? Minato is a Uzumaki, a watered-down Uzumaki nonetheless, but Uzumaki because his mother is Lady Tsunade, so his great-grandmother is Mito, all right? So Minato also has Uzumaki blood, and that brings us to Naruto. Naruto is his next student. You know, the real child of the prophecy. He is a Uzumaki, not full blooded, but he has a great deal of Uzumaki blood, being that Kushina was a full blooded Uzumaki, and his dad, Minato, was partially a Uzumaki, which gave Naruto a little bit more. And Minato was smart enough to know that, and that's why he sealed the fox inside his son. He knew that his son would have the capability of being a Jinchuriki because of the Uzumaki traits that he exhibited on both sides of his family. You understand me? And so that's the point that I want to make, is that Jiraiya, being an Uzumaki, taught Uzumakis as his main students, all right? He showed all of them the capability of these summonings, things like that. Now, of course, Naruto was the prodigy out of it, but then when we look at all of these students, how much regular ninjutsu do you see him doing? Do you see him doing lightning styles and wind styles and earth styles and all of that? No. More something specialized in a different kind of jutsu base, which is pretty much a fun jutsu. Naruto and them boy use Rasengan and whatnot, but we know that all four of these guys, Jiraiya, Nagato, Minato, and Naruto, all exhibit Uzumaki traits in that aspect, right? All right. All right, so the last ability of Jiraiya that we really can touch base on is his hair needle, the hair needle Jizo. All right, now we know most of us attribute that ability to Kaguya. We know that Kaguya can manipulate her hair. So that would show that Jiraiya is very close in some sense to Kaguya, right? We also know that the only other person that we've seen use this jutsu in the Naruto world is, I think his name is Fujita, which was Kisami's master. We know that we think that he is a Uzumaki also. He was one of those Uzumakis that were probably sent to the Mist Village just from his hair color and the capability that he possesses. Now, we don't know that for sure. It's just a theory. But he is the only other person that we've seen use the hair needle or the hair senbon jutsu. All right. He is also a wild, rowdy dude, which is a trait of the Uzumakis. Now, like I said, we're not saying that he's full-blooded Uzumaki. Obviously, he might not be. He has a last name, so he might be like Minato, but he has some of the traits of the Uzumaki. So we correlate the hair needle Jizo to Kaguya through Himura and to people like Fujita and Master Jiraiya, because we know they didn't take on the traits of Hogoromo. Hogoromo them do a lot of hand-sealed jutsus, whereas the Uzumakis and Himura's side don't really use a lot of those hand-sealed jutsus. The Hyugas, for example, don't use the hand-sealed jutsus. Now, like we said, that's all the theory. We want to know what y'all think in the comments below. You know, to us, Jiraiya is an Uzumaki. His main capability, the thing that Jiraiya is known for, is summoning the toes, right? Everybody would agree with that. Well, in order to be able to transport himself to Mount Miyaboku, he would have to have a very strong chakra source, and he would have to have the capability of releasing the seal. We think that that is a trait of the Uzumakis. We've seen the Uzumakis. We know that they're the best in the land at sealing jutsus. All right. And another point I wanted to make about Fujita, Kisami's teacher, is that when Kisami killed him, they said, the Mizukage said, well, you know, he was working with the enemy anyway. Well, you got to think, what enemy was he working with, right? He was probably working with the Kara, because the Kara is probably the group of Uzumakis that had the other Uzumakis exterminated. And right now they just hiding in the shadows. Who would be the enemy that this Seven Swordsman was working for while he was within the mist? We know that the Kara employed people out of the mist because they employed Al, right? So if you make that correlation, the enemy that he was working for could have very well been the Kara, because we believe that the Kara are Uzumakis who helped destroy the village hidden by whirlpools, because they got a master plan. We see the seal that they got on them. It's the same seal as the mitotic generation. You see the seal on Boruto hand and such. It's the same seal that Tsunade has on her forehead. And that would even make more sense for Kajin Koshi to be a part of the car, but since Kajin Koshi is an Uzumaki too, he's Jiraiya's child. Remember, Jiraiya was the pervy sage. He went around all of the lands messing with different women, right? Well, he probably had this child, didn't even know about him. That's a big possibility. And then it's a possibility that this child was in the leaf at one point, or maybe not even in the leaf, but we know that there was an extra name on the contracts when Naruto signed his black contract with the Toads. There was a missing name in there. There was Jiraiya, Minato, Naruto, and then one name that was missing at the time. That name could have very well been Kashin Koshi. And we think that, even the fact that, well, we ain't going to get into the Hyugas and the Uzumakis. We want to know what y'all think about Jiraiya himself being an Uzumaki, and that his true power is the capability to open up the whirlpool. Hell, Jiraiya could have been descended to related to the royal house of the Uzumakis. You dig? He got the white hair. He's very close to Kaguya. All right. He's mastered Fun Jutsu, just like the other two Sanin. All right. He's got the hair needle Jizo. He uses a Rasengan, which is a non-elemental based jutsu. I mean, he's got the traits of an Uzumaki: resilient, life force, rowdy, like to fight, the pervy sage, messing with a lot of women. So y'all let us know. We think we the first people on the internet to come out with this theory. We've had this theory for years and years and years before the Boruto series even came about. All right, so y'all just let us know what y'all think. We're going to keep up with the bloodlines within Naruto on our channel. That's what we're going to focus on, is the bloodlines and the generations. Peace out. Hope y'all like the video. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're going to be coming at y'all on a weekly basis. Peace out, everybody.